Okay, friends, today we're going to cover a guy that, if you can believe it, even bigger than the last guy, Mr. Craig Monson. Guy was Nigerian, was not an American citizen, was considerably bigger than Craig Monson. Here he is at 16 years old. Really hadn't done any hardcore training up to this point. He didn't even really start training until he was 16, as he'll mention coming forward. There he is still at 16 years old. Look how big he is. So here he is 17 or 18, even bigger. So without a doubt, the guy had incredible potential. Talks about walking past a bunch of guys in the garage gym and they would ask him to work out. And then finally he said, started dabbling at it. And they actually talked him into going into his first contest when he was 17, where he placed second to a 19-year-old Rich Gaspari. There he is, still a teenager in this picture. Just phenomenal. And then here he is in 83. He got his first win, still as a teen, assuming he was 18 here. But it was the LA NPC Team Championship. So that was his first win. Then in 84, I guess here he is. No, this was the NPC Team Championship, I believe. This picture's from. But then in 84, he wins the California Gold Cup Classic. Still a kid. Now, for some reason, there he is. Just a big kid. He probably weighed, a couple hundred pounds easily as an 18-year-old, and pretty solid. But for some reason, he decided he did not compete again. He trained hard, and he did not compete again until 92, which is when Weider took him on, and mainly as a guest poser at smaller contests. But then he sent him to Nigeria for the Nigerian championships, which of course he won. It looks a little bit like Sean Ray here, but that's him. He looks pretty ripped and huge here. So he wins the Mr. Nigeria, which finally gives him his pro card, which Weider had in mind to send him to the 92 Mr. Olympia, Summit Venice Beach. But for some reason, he just never went there. And he was making some pretty good money, so that may have been a disincentive for him to train in the Olympia. Here he is. He's, in the early 20s here. And you can see, big dude, good-looking kid. In 94, you'll see where he jumped on stage with Dorian Yates. And certainly size-wise, he's right up there with him. And if anything, maybe a little bit bigger. I mean, specifically the legs. To say the least, he was not out of place there. And then, other guys at the time. You'd see where Dorian has a little bit of the HGH gut going on. And Vic said he never did GH. Not that he wouldn't have, but he said it was just too pricey for him. When he found out how much it was, he's like, nah, it's all right. Here he is up against Ronnie, same age. Just 4 years younger than myself. So just an inch shorter, but claimed peak of 370. I don't know. I mean, it's claimed. Look at his legs there. His legs are huge. 35 inches, supposed to be. And then, depending on who you listen to and what article and what YouTube video, his arms were at least 22, maybe as much as 24. They were big. Here he is next to Kevin Levrone. who's no slouch himself, and he had just won the Arnold Classic in his class shortly before that picture, and he kind of makes Kevin look small there. But Kevin was good to him. He actually paid him $4,000 to do guest posing at a meet that he ran right after this whole fiasco in '94. And Kevin encouraged him to go into Mr. Olympia. So why did he never do the Olympia? It's just crazy, because it certainly seems like he could have done well, could have been a winner. But he said his goals were not based on competing against others, but to be the best that he could be, not just physically, but mentally and spiritually as well. And that was pretty much always the case. And you can see how huge he is here. Huge, well-proportioned, and, always had a smile on his face when he was posing. Always looked like he was in a good mood. He did use the phrase bodybuilding Illuminati, which is on his Facebook page in a quote, which I'll show you towards the end of the video. Here he is. Again with the big grin. And his arms are just insane. In an online muscle and fitness article that I ran into, the writer said, he was huge and maybe almost too big, but, maybe he couldn't quite get as ripped or striated. Look at his legs here. The striations have striations. I mean, he can't get ripped, please. I don't think so. I really don't think that was the issue. I think it was more about politics. Look at how ripped he is here. He's got veins all over his traps and in his arms and on top of his chest. His chest may not be striated there, but, could he get ripped for Mr. O show? I'm sure. Look at his arms here. Vascular, ripped. So, to say that he was smooth, I don't think so. And he did say that going to the gym was like his temple, and at times he almost reached an out-of-body experience working out. And he just really loved training for its own sake. And he said that he didn't feel like he needed to get his self-worth from a bunch of judges in a contest. Now, in 2000 was a bad year. A lot of top bodybuilders passed away in 2000. And in fact, there was rumors from several people in a YouTube video about Victor being dead at the age of 56. But, like Mark Twain had said earlier, the rumors of his death were greatly exaggerated. And in fact, he's alive and well to this day. And much trimmed down now. Doesn't look like this anymore. Doesn't want to be, He's 60 years old, so and I don't think he has any intentions of doing any Masters, Olympias, or anything like that. But he does still train. And of course, as in all my videos of these guys, I try to bring you some routines. So this first one is an early one where he was probably 23, 24 or so, and his back workout. Again, I try to run these slowly enough that you can read them, but if you need to stop and pause, look back at anything, obviously you can do that. Not a huge variety of exercises, but he did do heavy weight and a lot of sets. Here he is doing, I'm not sure if he's doing behind the neck there or that pull down, but you can see his back development there for sure. Seated cable rows, which you'll see a picture of, one-arm dumbbell rows, and I'm sure those dumbbells were hellious. And like you said, less bother on the low back with those. There he is with the seated pulleys. One of my favorite exercises too. Again, looks like he's having fun. Talks about his nutrition. Obviously, the man had to eat a lot. Make this large pot of rice with 25 egg whites and just kind of hit on it back and forth. So what else? What other stuff? What other kind of routines did he have? This is a newer article where it pretty much talks about that. This is his Monday workout. So Monday he's doing basically arms and calves. Claims to have done barbell curls with 315. I don't doubt it. I mean, look at his arms. His arms are ridiculous. And he did train, with some heavy-duty people, including the Barbarians. There's his Tuesday leg day, so he's doing barbell squat. Now, this is a lot less volume than it seemed like he was doing in those earlier days. And I did read that he squatted 900 pounds. Looking at those legs, it's not too hard to fathom that he could have done that. Strong guy. A lot of people said he was every bit as strong or even stronger than Ronnie and some of the other big strong guys he worked. He talked about working with Casey Viator too. He said how strong that he was. There, look at that side chest. Look at his arm. That arm is ginormous. Now, I'll grant you, in that particular picture, he doesn't look ripped to the gills, but I'm sure he could get there when he needed to, as you saw in some of those other pictures. There's his Friday workout, which was back and calves. Doesn't seem like a ridiculous amount of volume. There's another double bicep shot where you can see huge arms, big lats, just big all over, big dude. And then on Saturday, he would do biceps and throw in a little bit of shoulder work. Nothing real exotic, nothing real different. Basic stuff. There he's doing front raises. That's not a huge dumbbell, but you don't need much for front raises, especially when you're doing strict reps. And then on Sunday, he would see where he was at. It wasn't really a fixed day to do one or thing or the other. Just kind of see what he looked like, see what he felt like, and do whatever he felt was necessary on Sunday. So he trained 6 days a week, like was the case with most of the guys during that era. So what's he up to now? Well, he has a Facebook page, and there he is. This is a recent picture. This is so last year. Obviously a lot trimmed down, but he looks good. He looks healthy. For 60 years old, or 59, I guess, in that picture. Here he is talking about the bodybuilding Illuminati, as we mentioned. And just said because of his outspoken ways, he got kind of ostracized. He is a Christian. He is quoting the book of Isaiah. His Facebook is up and running. His posts in the last couple months. He doesn't post every day or anything. He did at some point have a website, and I'm not sure when that went down, but it's not up and running currently. There he is, kind of relaxed, just chilling out. And he talked about having a podcast 2 or 3 years ago, which I'm not sure if it ever happened, but it's not currently viable, that much I can tell you. So, thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, please hit those likes. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd appreciate it if you did. Stay tuned for what's next. And that's about it for the Nigerian monster known as Mr. Big. Thanks Thanks for watching it, and I'm out. See ya.